Baik, acara akan saya mulai. Oke. Ladies and gentlemen, as we're about to begin, I would like to seek your cooperation in completing this webinar. Kindly ensure your microphone in Zoom is mute to avoid interruption. Thank you for your keen cooperation and attention to this. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar on the topic Building Trust Business on Digital Platform. I'm Novita from STEKOM University, will be your host for today. And welcome to our special guest today. Welcome to the Honorable Dr. Joseph Teguh Santoso as a Rector of STEKOM University. To the Honorable Dr. Aisha Saqib as an Entrepreneur and Lecturer College of Management Science from Karachi Institute of Economy and Technology from Pakistan. To the Honorable Dr. Suraiya Ibrahim as a Research Fellow Center of Excellence for Social Innovation and Sustainability from Universiti Malaysia Perlis. To the Honorable Dr. Siswanto as a Lecturer of Computer System Department from STEKOM University Indonesia. And the last to the Honorable Dr. Unang Atlisun as a Dean of Faculty Vocational from STEKOM University in Indonesia. And welcome to our special guest today. Thank you all for being here with us today. Also, thank you for all participants to attending this webinar. We hope you will learn a lot of today. We have lined up for you to be fruitful and engaging. Before we begin, I have a few housekeeping notes here. Today's session is being live streamed on Universitas STEKOM YouTube channel. And the first session, we will go to next listening for Indonesian national anthems and continue with opening speech by Rector from STEKOM University, represented by Dr. Unang Atlisun. And then we will go to the next for time for presentation, and each presentation have 30 minutes for each speaker. Okay, I will start for this event today. We will start with Indonesia national anthem. So Miss Febri, the time is yours. Thank you. Thank you. And we will go to the next session. This is opening speech by our rector, but represented by Dr. Unang Atlisun as a Dean of Vocational Faculty. For Dr. Unang, the time is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dr. Unang Atlisun. May I first take this occasion to pay tribute to all of the audience of this webinar international event with the title Recession-Proof Business Strategies for 2023, held by STEKOM University in collaboration with Karachi Institute of Economics and Technology and University Malaysia, Perlis. It is a great pleasure and an honor for me to deliver a welcome remarks at the opening of this webinar international event. May I first take this opportunity to express my gratitude and appreciation, as well as extend an cordial welcome to all of the audience, in particular all the speakers of today's event. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to our God, a blessing and mercy that we could assemble in this international webinar, Decision-Proof Business Strategies for 2023. The Honorable all speaker guests today and all audience. I would like to say thank you very much to all speakers that you will present insightful ideas according to your field of experience in this reputation, and it is a great pleasure to welcome all of you to this webinar. I believe that our speakers will improve knowledge and experiences of all participants and provide significant scientific contribution. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope through this webinar international event, you can get more information about decision-proof business strategies for 2023. To conclude, I would like to extend my appreciation to the International Affairs Organization of STEKOM University for making this webinar. And finally, I wish you to enjoy the webinar today. Thank you very much. Time back to Ms. Novita.
Thank you so much for Dr. Unang for the opening speech, and we will go to the first presentation. This is from Dr. Aisha Saqib as an entrepreneur on Lecturer College of Management Science from Karachi Institute of Economy and Technology from Pakistan. So for Dr. Aisha, the time is yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. I hope you all are doing good. I just need to know, am I audible?
Yes.
Good. So I hope you all are doing well and having a good day. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And I'll be sharing my presentation. Okay. So when I received the topic, when I read the topic, building trust business on digital platforms, immediately two things clicked, because I'll give you a little information about my background. I am an entrepreneur and I specialize in digital branding consultancy and content marketing strategy. I have a 6-year experience. I have worked with agencies and national and international brands. It has been only a year that I've entered into academic teaching, and it has been a very encouraging and a very communicative journey from both ends, because I have been learning so much since the past year. And it is a privilege to be here and sharing my experience with all of you. And I hope that you take away some good key learnings, and likewise that I learn new things from all of you. So the topic for today is building trust business on digital platforms. When I read this topic, two applications immediately came to my mind that I think we need to address two things. When we talk about trust, sometimes it's talked very generically, like building trust amongst any sort of business nature or business transaction. And secondly, building a trust business organization, like a non-profit organization. So there were two applicative meanings to this topic. I've covered both of them, given my experience, because I think both factors need to be taken in. I'll be talking about two things. First, we'll discuss this topic very generically, how companies can foster digital trust, because we're entering into 2023, AI is on the rise. We know that our consumers are becoming more empowered. Our consumers are more knowledgeable, and ethical data usage is something, a topic which is on the rise. So with empowered user, with the Gen Z, with changing dynamic social trends, marketers are in much of a hurricane environment because we need to be ready beforehand to take proactive measures as and when needed. So firstly, we'll be talking about the general meaning of trust. That not, let's just not classify organizations or business within different transactional modes. Let's just talk about business. A business, a place where there are two people involved in a transaction of value. It can be monetary, it can be non-monetary, but either ways we cannot forget the concept that value, there needs to be an exchange of value. And in today's world, trust is, given the rise and the boom in digital technologies, trust has now become a currency for businesses operating online. Trust is no more a belief system where we say, oh, whether you trust in putting money in my business or not, whether you trust in this transaction or. Trust has gone beyond that meaning and measure. Trust is now more related to it's more, let's say, ingrained with the concept of customer loyalty and customer lifetime value. So we do not treat business like we used to treat business before. Business is a human enterprise. It's something which is impacting real lives of people. The debate around business is, no matter whether the business is selling technological products or any other, or operating in any other industry, this is where my experience comes in, because I have been making strategies to humanize the digital footprints. Brands from across different segments, different sectors, catering to different target markets, now want to humanize their digital footprint. And it is not a matter of posting one campaign or a seasonal campaign. It is a matter of a strategic outlook for the next 5 years or 10 years. But given the dynamic nature of digital marketing, it is a very volatile environment to be in. So you have to respect trust as being the currency, which is a major playing a pivotal part when we say that, there's an exchange of value between two people in a business transaction. You have to respect the factor of trust as being the currency involved in value generation. So what do we do? What do digital marketers do? Or what do people in my position, or the people entering into the business domain? How do we put this trust currency into application? It's simple. You have to understand the concept that there's this trust gap existing between the customer and the business. And that trust gap can only be, for example, there's this bridge and you have to, walk over the bridge. The business decides which step, which direction to take. You want to hop 3 steps, you want to hop 10 steps, or you want to walk at a pace of, you decide your pace and your steps and your direction of course. Not two people will cross the bridge the same way. Same goes for trust gap. A business has to first value trust as its currency, and then the business has to understand that we have to work on improved digital experiences across the consumer lifetime, across every consumer touch point available to us digitally. Because we are operating in an omni-channel environment, agile marketing is on the rise, so we cannot miss out any point, any touch point on the customer lifetime graph where we have the opportunity to bridge our trust gap. Now, how let's say somebody will ask, Aisha, how do we bridge this trust gap? It's simple. It's as simple as the brand deciding how to communicate, what to communicate, when to communicate, how to optimize the digital channels, and how to combat the issue of misinformation available around us. Because like I talked about data ethics, it is a major concern which needs to be ingrained in the digital strategy today. If you're entering into 2023, we need to have proactive measures on our list to be able to ready to overcome any dynamic environment which may hamper our trust gap. So what usually businesses do, they just want the audience to come digitally, enter into a transaction and trust them. No, unfortunately, that is not how it goes, because we have a very cluttered environment online. To need to shine, initially people thought, let's focus on promotions to shine out of the clutter. But no, before emotions, the trust factor has now made its very safe space. That first, the audience wants to know you. Then the audience will decide, do I like this brand or this business or its initiatives or not? trust is the third thing in this process. So imagine the amount of hard work a digital marketing strategist needs to put in, because one person may cross this trust gap in 1 year, one person may cross this trust gap in 1 day, but maybe one consumer may cross this trust gap over a period of 2 years. We need to have strategies in place, and for that, we provide regular digital touch points consistent with our business values. That is why the need for a digital marketing strategy is much required, giving trust its pivotal role as it deserves. So I'm still talking about the general topic first before I go on to the digital marketing strategy bit, because I need to pave out a ground first. Let's talk about fostering digital trust in general, meaning that, how can a business or how can any brand do that? I'm not talking about the nature of the business right now. The business may be operating in any geographical location, in any segment, in any sector, targeting any user, let's say. Let's make these assumptions and just talk generally about a brand willing to foster digital trust, because it eventually has to get into a transaction with the end user for an exchange of value. We follow these simple 6 steps, and trust me, 2023, any brand will be able to successfully foster digital trust. The first is that you have to promise not only that you're sound in providing privacy and security to your user, you have to promise it. When we promise it, we communicate it. We tell the other person. Now, how can you communicate to the other person digitally that yes, your privacy and security and your data is of prime concern to us? Because we see a lot of financial transactions, a lot of financial products and digital and technological products being sold online. Almost everything is online nowadays in an omni-channel environment. It's very simple. You update the features on your digital platforms, telling the user how your data is being used. You inform them that, see, this is the data we are gathering from you, and this is how this data is being processed. You have to inform the user. Number 2, you have to educate the user about the best security practices with respect to mobile social media. Because in mobile social media, a lot of fine blueprint, the copyrights and all the legal data people do not read, people skim. So it is the brand's responsibility to educate its users about the security best practices that they need to employ when they are deciding which data they want to give into the business environment. Number 3, it's very easy. Use visuals, use security icons. No matter how strong technically your business is in ensuring the privacy and security of data, unless and until it's not seen, it is not belief. You need to factor in that we are now building value for the trust gap. You need to add visuals, add security icons. Follow these 3 steps, and then you can promise a sound digital privacy and security strategy to the end user. Number 2, we have to retain the human element. With things and technology becoming digitized, everything sounds like artificial intelligence. And I know it is only booming and it is going up and up. So how do we retain that edge of the human element? It's very easy. We have to understand that with digital market and global businesses, we have a very diverse customer base. So include photos in all your promotional material, highlighting the people P of the marketing mix, that yes, we cater to a diverse customer base, that yes, we respect diversity management. But then again, you have to show it. So to retain the human element, you have to add pictures. You have to show people from diverse consumer base. Number 2, chatbots. Every other company, every other business is using chatbots. Yes, but make sure that the chatbot is mimicking the human touch. The language usage of the chatbot mimics that of a human sitting behind the screen. Number 3, something as simple as using simple language. Often we try to use very difficult pronunciation and languages on our all the content marketing, and let's say all the copywriting, the copy selling, it becomes very technical. No, use simple languages to explain your complex processes to your consumer. That is how a good digital marketing strategy will work in harnessing that trust gap, in fostering the digital trust with the end user, because the user will feel more connected to the brand and to the business. Number 4, yes, every business on a digital domain has digital tools. I agree, but pair it up with non-digital tools. For example, You have the chatbot system, but yes, a person should be available on the call center too at that time. That is how you retain the human element. As much as things are getting digitized, in the end of the day, it is a transaction between two humans, two people. A business is also made up of people. The end user using a product is also a person. So we cannot get rid of the human element no matter how advanced the technology base is. Third factor, we have to show the consumer that we are on their side. And how do we do that? Not all solutions are available 24/7, but try to offer solutions on your digital touch points which are available to the end user 24/7. It shows to the user that yes, you are aptly ready, but also you care. Again, it will bridge the trust gap. Leverage your social media. The consumer complaints should turn into advocacy. For that, we have to leverage social media. And that is what I'll be talking about in the next part of the presentation, how to develop a content marketing strategy, a digital content marketing strategy for trust businesses. Then I'll be talking about the business entity and how the strategy goes for it. Right now, keeping on the ground of generic discussion, proactive communications and featuring an authentic rating system. We all know that ratings is something easily played with online, but if you want your brand to stand out, if you are treating your customer trust as a currency that will give you long-term value, you have to feature an authentic rating system. You have to let the user put unfiltered comments and try to train the user or give the user an opportunity, the end consumer, to transform, to even put in negative comments. Yes, initially it may look like negative reviews are coming in, but that negative review can also become into a constructive review. And that is the empowerment you will give to your user and your consumer to come forward to any digital platform and put a positive and a negative review, but then your actions will bridge the trust gap by making that negative review into a constructive review. So you have to feature an authentic rating system. When we talk about proactive communications, what do you mean by proactive in general life? That you do not blame the circumstances, you take charge. Because with digital technology, a lot of things happen. We say, oh, it is not in our control. You do get the data, you do get the analytics that something is not working right, that a strategy is not working. Let's switch over. And you have to switch over very quickly, maybe within 24 hours. But for that, you need to have a proactive communication approach. You cannot stand and blame the user or the technology or the setbacks of any data behind your offering. You have to take charge, and you have to, when we talk about proactive communications, we have to work towards positive electronic word of mouth. We all have studied word of mouth, but now the word of mouth is digital. So the brand decides what kind of communication it wants to foster to create a positive word of mouth. And when we say proactive, you have to timely update. The user does not know what features are coming in, what is your vision, where do you want to be, what value exchange are you offering. You have to timely update. When I say timely update, start updating the consumer before time. If something is being launched 6 months later on, you need to have a content plan ready for the digital marketing touch points, maybe a year earlier for that. That is how a good digital marketing strategy becomes your pivotal asset. Last, enhance your digital design. When I say enhance your digital design, I will talk about the human element of it. You need to involve the stakeholders, the content producers in your digital design, because user experience is becoming a major running player in the digital marketing strategy arena nowadays, moving towards user interface, which the user sees as giving it value. So we need to involve active users in our design process. It's basically, let's say, a whole cultural change around the organization. That is what fosters digital trust. Now I'll be talking about the second part of the topic. The first part was very generic, just digital trust and treating trust as a currency. Let's assume that we have a trust business. A trust business, a non-profit organization, is running online. And I have been working with trust organizations in Pakistan. One is in Naltar Valley, like PLP Educational Trust, Kirin Foundation. So I have a hands-on experience and in being a part of their digital marketing drives. So why do you think a non-profit organization will need a marketing strategy? Because they need funds, they need volunteers, they need to go out into the world and share their purpose and vision and spread their message ahead. They need it for awareness, they need it for social change, for image establishment so that the brand equity goes up, to raise funds and to seek volunteers and partners. So it is an ongoing process and a much needed process. And nowadays, non-profit organizations also understand the need of having a long-term marketing strategy, not just coming up with short-term campaigns to, just get to where they want to be. They know that they have potential, that they know they're on the right direction, but they need now professionals coming in and setting up a strategy for them which yields them result within the domain of a trust business. Okay, now moving towards the digital content marketing strategy for non-profit organizations. I'm going to share a few things which I have experienced working with non-profit organizations, working with trust businesses, helping them establish a sound, trustful, credible, and authentic digital presence. And it all starts with why. It is not what you do, it is why. Why is it what you are selling or what you are doing that the business needs to put forward and first know and communicate in the organization? Because every person, every process involved in the organization needs to know why is it that what we are doing, the why behind the what is more important. It gives you a sense of purpose and vision, and trust me, that is the starting point for any successful digital marketing content strategy, whether it is a profit business or a non-profit business. How do we do that? You encourage the vulnerability of thought and emotion. Again, you strategically humanize the brand by letting the people know that we understand you, we understand your pain points, we understand your fears, we understand your hopes, and this is our vision, and we want your vision to incline with our vision. That is how you answer why in any content marketing strategy. Your content somehow needs to be a depiction of not what you're doing, what everybody will know eventually. What is it that the business is offering? What is it that the trust business is doing? In which domain is it driving any social change? But first you need to focus on the why, and trust me, your data analytics will boom. Your data will show the response of the consumers, because first we have to get the consumer's attention out of a digital clutter and let the consumer know. First, the consumer will know us, then like us, and then trust us, and then go into a transaction with us. So first, you have to answer the why aspect whenever you're making any good digital marketing strategy. And once you know your why, you have to tell stories. Now, usually people think it's just about making videos. No, you need to have a solid purpose. A solid, let's say your brand, we talk about brand mantras, the brand genetic codes. You have to ingrain that genetic code of your business, what your business values and believes in your visual narratives. You have to get the members on board. You need to have a compelling narrative. You need to evoke emotions. Because again, I said before, coming to the transactional point, we have to cross the trust bridge of knowing, liking, and trusting, and only then a business transaction is happening. That is because so many businesses are fostering, so many trusts are here. How would a person know that I want to put in my efforts and funds in this trust business, or I want to put in my funds and trust in the other trust business? How will you stand out? Through a successful content marketing strategy, knowing your whys and telling your stories, visual narratives with very compelling, solid proof grounds that the business value needs to be communicated, as I said, on multiple digital touch points. Third, interact. We forget the social media is for interacting. Social media, the word social is there. The brand needs to show its presence. When people are commenting, the brand needs to comment down. These are these small acts which take over a period of time. It builds a very strong customer loyalty. It acts like a customer loyalty program for you just by interacting. Customers like it when the brand name or the business name comments under there or likes their comment. Trust me, this has been proven by the data available to digital marketers. You have to optimize your own media channels. Yes, we can pay and go for paid marketing, but let's say we have less funds available, and particularly for trust businesses, utilization of funds is very strictly documented, and you are much accountable for how you're using the funds because it's a non-profit business. So the best way to do is optimizing your own media channels, because it will hardly take any cost. You can do it even for $0 just by producing consistent, trustworthy, and credible content. Because anytime somebody will come and put up a misinformation about your brand. If you're active on social media, if your why is aligned, if your visual storytelling is on point, you are there and you will immediately pick up that somebody is posting misinformation about our brand, and you can optimize your own media channel by consistently providing credible and authentic information for users to go to clarify their confusion. So that on the brand parts needs to be there. Let's say in a week the brand can decide to publish the 3 blog articles on evergreen topics which last for years, a general topic which gives value to the audience in reading and also gets the audience to know about your brand. Sometimes you don't have to tell to the consumer, oh, I'm selling ABC. No, the consumer will eventually know you're selling ABC. You need to start the process by talking about D, E, F, and G. That is how the recent content marketing strategy realm is being organized and changed because of the changing consumer trends. One thing we need to put value in is that we, even today, you see we are multilingual. I speak 3 to 4 languages. I see all of you speaking here different languages. We all speak English and understand English. We are a global village, like we say. So your digital presence should integrate language translation. It is, let's say, it is not an option anymore. It is a much needed strategic outlet that you need to ingrain in your system to integrate language translation. And again, it will provide much value for you in the longer run to meet your business objectives. Lastly, make digital content user friendly. A lot of the social media platforms, you see new apps are booming nowadays, and a business will say, oh, my persona does not resonate with, let's say, the digital platform TikTok is rising nowadays. But over the years, we have seen that some brands very strategically, very decently have aligned their values utilizing the best part of that platform. We need to opt for user-friendly platform because that is where our Gen Z is sitting, and that is the generation growing up and going to take a mission and vision forward, or generate a word of mouth, a buzz around our objectives and what we want other people to know. So we cannot ignore that part of digital media. Yes, you can make complex systems and you can put it up on your website or your other social media digital channels, but you also need to opt for 1 or 2 digital content user-friendly platforms where everybody easily comes, searches, and has the opportunity to somehow know about you. And currently TikTok is doing that for a lot of digital businesses. We all have read about email marketing. Yes, but I'm going to talk a little from a different perspective. Yes, build an email list. Definitely do that. Particularly for trust businesses, it is much needed when we talk about proactive communications. If a fundraising gala is coming on, or we need to get the consumer ready to come in and pitch in for volunteering, it starts months ahead. But you do not immediately email and tell them what you need. You first share material with what you have been doing, your whys, not your whats. You talk about all the past work that you have been doing, your success features. You may share your infographics. First, you build an email list, and you first just create awareness around who you are, your brand personality, what your business, the values your business holds. Again, I said, smartly and strategically humanize your brand's digital footprint. The transactional element is always going to be technical. But when we talk about marketing, and marketing in the end is about customer value. So we have to value the customer first. And today's customer first wants to know your brand, to like your brand, and then trust your brand. That is why I talked about the trust gap earlier than discussing the content marketing strategy, because unless we do not understand the weightage of the trust currency, we cannot put that into action in any good content marketing strategy. So it is initially what people used to do, just build an email list and start sending cold emails. No, that is not how things work. And particularly for trust businesses, you have to develop that role of communication. You have to, that the other person does not see you merely as a business. The other person resonates with you like a person. And also offer value. After offering value in any sense, maybe digital products, maybe digital consultancy, some free information, anything. First, build an email, let the consumer know you, offer value, and in the third later step to meet your objective, then you may ask the user exactly what you are looking for. That comes later on in the ladder. User-generated content is on the rise. And whenever I'm teaching content marketing strategy to my marketing students, and whenever businesses are coming to me for consultancy for digital branding, I always tell them, come up with a branded hashtag, come up with an idea where you do not need to put in much effort, where the users around you will be so encouraged that they'll be creating, producing, and posting content for you. And at the same time, the same hashtag will be trending in digital media. Remember, your next post, your next video could go viral. So you have to treat every action such that my next word out on digital media, on social platforms may get viral, and I have to be prepared for that. That is how you treat a digital content marketing strategy. And branded hashtags leverage user generated content to the maximum. Also, what another part of the content marketing strategy that you can do is go behind the scenes. This I have done personally for the trust that I have worked, and I think this yields the maximum impact on any trust business in harnessing or in attracting people who are giving in funds or people who want to volunteer. Is go behind the scenes. The brand or the business, apart from the business name, needs to show to the consumer that people are working. Our people, we have people too behind this automation. People are sitting and people are working. It is an organic content. It is low cost in shooting. It is low cost in producing and sharing across social media. So branded hashtags gives you the leverage of getting the content viral without any investment in paid marketing. And what kind of content you should be working on? Behind the scene content, not some superficial scripted content. For trust businesses, behind the scene strategy is proven to be one of the most successful strategy in yielding brand awareness and meeting your business objectives. Also, nowadays, social media are offering trust businesses options and tools. If you qualify, you have to fill a form. They run through your data, your business model. And if you qualify according to the social media's fine print, they give you options and tool buttons, which we call to action. Because in the end of the day, you must have a business objective. You have to meet it and you have to measure it through some data analytics. I personally deal with content marketing strategy. That's why I'm focusing more on the strategic humanizing side of the brand. But in the end of the day, I understand it is a transaction that has to take place. So these tools, these call to action buttons, no matter how good visual narrative we are putting out there, no matter how viral a branded hashtag is getting, unless and until the call to action is not coming, it means there's something wrong with the strategy. You need to have buttons. And for that, social media is providing you. Facebook is giving you the sign up button. And if you qualify for the sign up button on Facebook, you can qualify for the donation sticker on Instagram stories also. So we have to target on getting hold of these buttons, because this is something that the social media app is giving to you free of cost. And it is a call to action button, which is towards which the end user is very receptive, because the end user is very active on social media platforms. So this is something that all businesses, particularly trust businesses, need to cash on. Secondly, infographics. Nowadays, a normal average user has about 7 digital touch points, let's say, and it is very difficult to retain information. And to be honest, people don't invest that much time to reading long tests. That is where in a digital content marketing strategy, no matter whatever data analytics is coming forward, whatever value proposition you have, you need to publish it in a form of infographics. I'll tell you why. Because infographics are easily shareable on social media. As I said again, whenever I'm making a content marketing strategy or giving digital branding consultancy, we take into account in a situation where we have no money for marketing, and situation where we have medium level money. So your digital marketing strategy should be applicable on all situations. And in a situation where you're tight on funds on promotion and marketing, infographics is something which email marketing can leverage. Infographics is something a call to action button can lead you to. Infographics can lead you to the websites, and it can be published on a multi-channel approach. So this is something, when you're creating your content marketing strategy, you have to give priority to the publish factor of infographics, not focusing on, yes, do the blog writing for evergreen content, but infographics is something, if you ingrain it in your content marketing strategy, then it will be a part of the process, and all the people involved within your organization will know that we have to work towards this data item that we have to produce. And you'll see over a period of 1 month, 2 months, or a quarter, you will have enough infographics, and it will all be creating a web of backlinks and only helping you in your search engine optimization. Event marketing for trust businesses, we know it has been being done, but where does digital marketing come in? You integrate influencer marketing with event marketing. So an offline event it will be providing a lot of digital data, which can be crafted, edited, produced into long form videos, short form videos, long textual blocks, short copy selling, however you want to treat that data, which you can produce out of an event marketing, integrated with influencer marketing. And the result, if your business objectives is here, maybe your business objective is just to create awareness around your business proposition, trust me, it will yield you at least 10 times more buzz and awareness around it, because one event can be catered to for a content marketing plan of 30 days ahead. That is how valuable event marketing gets if you apply a digital content marketing strategy, integrating influencer marketing with it. So to sum up the marketing strategies, putting it in very easy words, 4 things that you need to focus on whenever you are talking about fostering digital trust, or if you want to make up digital marketing strategy for any business organization, whether it's a trust business or not, focus on 4 things and you'll be on the right track. You have to work on your brand's visibility, credibility, intimacy, and reliability. And for that, the applications are mentioned on this graph. For visibility, we work more towards PR and written materials. For credibility, like today we are having a webinar. It will add to the credible digital value of all the people involved, universities involved. Intimacy, networking, getting to know your customer on a level that the customer treats the brand and the business like a person. And that is the ultimate goal of connecting with the customer, because that will yield us a customer lifetime value. And reliability, providing consistent data, consistent call to action strategies on all digital touch points on the consumer's lifetime graph. Consistency in digital marketing strategy, in producing digital content, yields reliability for the end user. To sum up, building trust business on digital platforms, you set your goals, objectives, you target the audience and create consumer persona. But because with digital businesses and digital platforms, we need to keep in mind that we have a diverse range. So our consumer persona may not be limited to one. We need to have consumer personas catering to a diverse range, because we have access to a lot of different market segments now. So we need to be ready that what is the need of each consumer, different segments and a persona, and because digital marketing strategy can be altered. It's very flexible. The core can stay the same, but according to the consumer segment needs, it can be easily altered. And that is what comes into the content marketing strategy. You put all of this together, you budget your timeline, and you always monitor your data. Your data, whenever you're setting an objective, I'll just sum it up on this thing. Whenever you are setting a business objective, you need to align it with the key performance indicator, a metric to know whether things have gone the right way or not. And you need to have an agile marketing approach, a project management approach, which is catering to agile marketing, because marketing is just booming and growing and becoming more knowledgeable, becoming more artificially intelligent. So we as marketers need to be proactive as digital marketers, and we need to be ready to cater to an agile marketing environment. That's all from my side. If any questions, please let me know.
Thank you so much for wonderful presentation, Dr. Aisha. And then for the question and answer session will be start in after our presentation has been ended for presentation, Miss. Okay, thank you so much. And then we will go to the next speaker. This is from Dr. Suraiya Ibrahim as a Research Fellow Center of Excellence for Social Innovation and Sustainability from Universiti Malaysia Perlis. For Dr. Suraiya, the time is yours. Thank you.
Okay, selamat siang. Good afternoon to everyone here. Thank you, Novita, and Honorable Dr. Unang Tilson, Rector of Universiti STEKOM, that giving us opportunity to share about this building trust on digital platforms. Okay, so I'm very impressed on the Aisha Saqib, Dr. Aisha Saqib sharing just now. I'm personally a bit a bit into on more on the digital trust, okay, on the pillars of digital trust on Deloitte, from Deloitte, that shared their experience on that 4 pillars. So I think we can start our presentation.
Can or no, Miss?
Does it send to the organizer?
Just a moment, please. How with I will share from here, from our set.
Yeah.
Mbak Febri, minta tolong dibantu share screen, ini filenya aku kirim di WA.
Ya, boleh dikirim dulu, Mbak.
Ada tak? Kalau tak ada.
Ada, Miss.
Then okay.
Mbak.
Okay, so our topic today, but I have to specifically on discuss on the trust actually. Okay, by the way, before we start, okay, so my name is Suraiya Ibrahim. Okay, I'm from the accounting and digital accounting background. All right, so what we want to look here first, okay, we want to look at the technology used for digital transformation. Okay, then technology that can lead the way. Okay, so there have been a purpose, there have been principles of technology nowadays. Okay, because technology used here for digital transformation can also be leveraged to enhance trust when they are used to enhance transparency, reinforce ethical practices, boost data privacy, and harden security. So they have 4 pillars here, and trending now at the digital business platform in I think in so many platforms, in YouTube, TikTokers, Facebook, and so on. All right, issues, some maybe we do have some issues also, okay, few issues like security issues. All right, so to start with, okay, so we start with next for 4 pillars that I have been sharing with you. Okay, so about pillars, next slide, please. Okay, so technology used for digital transformation actually can also be leveraged to enhance trust, where gaining customer trust is very important, not just in the business products and services, but in its core purpose and principles. Okay, but fundamentally for the enterprise success, what if efforts to drive your business success also increase the risk of sparkling customer distrust? Right, so that's dilemma actually many business leaders find themselves into as they pursue digital transformation efforts to embed into their technology facets or their operations of the business. With the advent of the digital technology here, okay, businesses have been asking, okay, customers to trust them in new and deeper ways. All right, from asking for their personal information to tracking their online behavior through digital breadcrumbs, and at the same time, all right, technology issues like security hacks, inappropriate of illegal surveillance, misuse of personal data, and fake news, misinformation, okay, algorithms make bias and lack of transparency are regularly happen Okay, the resulting distrust here, this incident breed in stakeholders, employees, okay, like employees, investors, and regulators, as well as customers that significantly damage in organization reputation. All right. So beyond that, okay, it can be, we can overall, right, overall trust in the business communities, okay, ability to use technology responsibly. All right. But okay, however, the good news in that the same tools and technologies that drive digital transformation and whose careless or unethical use can sabotage trust also. It can also help to build trust among stakeholders and create benefits for society. That's why digital technology transformation actually being one of the benefit in the business platform. All right. What's more, okay, their potential to help strengthen trust, right, doesn't end with simply avoiding negative incidents such as data breaches, right? When used to enhance transparency, reinforce ethical and responsibilities of practices, can boost data privacy, harden security activities that we can call that 4 pillars that I want to discuss today. And also it reflects the digital tools and technologies can serve as positive enablers, can be as enablers of both transformation and trust. So we move to pillars, right?
Next slide, Miss.
Okay,
Okay.
so pillars of trust. Okay, we do have 4 pillars of trust here. Okay, according to the shared, okay, in the digital platform from Deloitte. Okay, first is transparency and accessibility. Okay, first is transparency and accessibility, where transparency around digital business practices along with easy to understand. Okay, disclosures can help also to build trust in an organizations or businesses intention and its promise to deliver quality digital product and services. All right. Why number 2, privacy and control also play a main role to this transformation, where the organization that respects, okay, customers' preferences on what data to collect and how that data is handled. All right, are able to gain greater permission to handle customer information and provide personalized services. And also technology innovations raise ethical questions by giving organization more power. All right, willingness to work toward the welfare of consumers can generate higher levels of credibility and trust also. And not to forget, with heated up awareness around cyber risk, right? Cyber risk and increasing reliance on smart devices, customers are increasingly chosen by the organization that use the latest technology to keep products and services secure and become reliable in future. All right. So for my first pillars of trust, okay, transparency and accessibility. Can we go for that? Okay, so they have these 4 pillars of trust. Okay, so again, for transparency, it can increase the transparency, of course, from the organization that they interact with, especially in within their stakeholders like investors, okay, like community, all right, like financial and bank, and it's also can become an imperative business for them. And in privacy and control, mostly to use digital technologies that encourage the safe sharing of data. All right, these have been highlighted that safe sharing of data must be a crucial part of privacy and control in pillars of trust here. So ethics. All right, business can gain their reputation on ethical and responsible. Okay, the business can be responsible to can answer the question that might be arise from that might be queries from stakeholders or from the customers and also public. Okay, security. Okay, to appreciate one of the pillars of part. Okay, to appreciate convenience of technology means that the technology become convenient. The software, the website that have been created by the business should be convenient to use by all level of people. Okay, so next, okay, we first look into transparency and accessibility. Okay, increased transparency then with the popularization of digital products and services, stakeholders may have become used, okay, to expecting increased transparency from organizations that they interact with. So how? Even before they engage with the digital platforms, consumers on summon up as a vast of information online, and not just about the product and services they are interested, but on the company. Okay, offerings them as well. In return, they often provide personal and or other confidential information to be company in question. So from this, okay, they do this for expectation of transparency about how this information is stored and used. Okay, especially including the application of artificial intelligence, AI, or other decision-making tools. Okay, so in fact, if we look into one survey, nearly 9 out of 10 in American, 86% believe that business transparency is more important today than ever before. Okay, and 7 out of 10, about 73%, will pay for product that promise total transparency. Means they have to present it in a correct way, in a very transparent way. All right. So transparency, okay, as normal talk, imperative for companies looking for what? For competing and gaining an edge in the digital world here. Okay, here are some ways that might be good for the company to seek the leverage of technologies, because to foster this transparency and accessibility, one of the pillar in the digital trust. First, to enabling customer easily evaluate the company and its offering, what company offer at the time. And one of the thing, okay, in the digital platforms are experimenting with is providing more transparency around, okay, their business models. Okay, first example is business model. Some companies label this sponsored or promotional content such as on the websites or platforms. Other identify the sponsors that have fund, free offerings provided by the company. Okay, so likewise, okay, likewise, I think not yet in, I think in the first pillar. Okay, so still in the first pillar. Okay, providing some brands and retailers, okay, are bringing credibility to the customer feedback on the platform by calling out any voluntary reviews from verified purchases, for example, while disclosing which ones they solicited. Because here, making business terms such as additional fees, privacy policies, and terms of service readily accessible and easily become understandable. So it can take friction out of otherwise challenging the customer experience. So for instance, some insurers, for example, in wealth management firms are introducing conversational interfaces that break down complex financial products. All right, so including fees into every terms. So they have to interact with their customer on they have on-demand help desk across different channels, for example, audio, visual, desktop, mobile, weighing their option and making their selection with confidence. Okay, so another thing, third thing in this transparency and accessibility is clarifying how self-learning algorithm operates. Okay, in example, the opacity around how the software arrived at the decision, okay, that lead to confusion and skepticism among customers at the receiving. So here, that organizations have to make the technologies clear how they arrive to the decision making. Okay, so number 4, providing line of sight into supply chain. They have a supply chain in this transparency pillars. Okay, why we have to connect with this supply chain? Because, okay, in the growing, okay, public and regulatory call for ethical and trustworthy sourcing, manufacturers and logistic companies are implementing right now technologies such as blockchains across their supply chains. Okay, they apply their blockchains, and that technology also can track production sources and handling condition mitigate with concern about product safety. For example, food product and medicine, sustainability and social responsibility like apparel, okay, apparel industry and also fisheries, and authenticity of luxury goods, for example, okay, LV, BMW, right? So Mercedes and so on, authenticity. So next, pillar number 2, okay, ethics and responsibility here. Sorry, pillars number 2, privacy and control. Okay, for privacy and control of this part, okay, use digital to encourage digital technologies to encourage the safe of sharing data, for example, because people have long traded of data for access, convenience, and more personalized experience, but this concern has its limits. Why? If consumers have reason to believe their data is being used in ways they don't agree with, the result can include calls for boycotts, public inquiries, and even severe penalties under strict regulations of each countries. Okay, so in this part, pillars, okay, so privacy and control, okay, putting control of personal data in users' hand often become the problem with data sharing. Okay, it's not so much the actual loss of privacy as the perception of loss of control, which leave consumers feeling worried and powerless. So here, a few digital companies publish transparency, okay, reports to share information to the third party. All right, so other digital platform of the companies are going a step further by allowing the users to redact or delete, okay, their data at will or download and transfer it to the different providers. So very important to taking care of this control, okay, among the organization and businesses. Also need to improving the accuracy of consumer data and being such frugal with personally identifiable information, for example, sweeping privacy protection requirements, making their way out of legislatures. All right. So the consequences of organization that fail to protect, okay, fail to protect the personal data can be served also. Like, for instance, recent technologies development enable the organization to perform, okay, analytics and calculation on encrypted customer data without decrypting it, okay, thus protecting customer privacy. And in some other ways, okay, example, a mobile devices company, okay, a mobile devices company developed a privacy preserving technique that analyze customer data on user devices, and as a result, the company does not need to transfer or store, okay, customers' personal data on its servers. So it become more controllable system in connecting with the pillar number 2. Okay, for pillar number 3 here, we're going to touch on pillar number 3 for ethics and responsibility. Okay, so business here can gain their reputation as ethical and responsible. Okay, in what ways? Okay, for example, for all its Marvel technology have a potential risk side is only as ethical as its creators and also users designed to be. All right, the logic of machines might not distinguish right from wrong. Okay, the same way human beings do. Okay, not like the humans. This means that companies have to evaluate how they use technology in a way that is aligned with the fundamental purpose and core principle that I have been discussed at the very first place just now. They have a chance to establish themselves as worthy of trust by deploying, okay, digital tools in the service customer needs and societal benefit. By doing this, organization can tap into much, okay, yearn for goals of fairness, okay, they have inclusion and well-being as well, while curbing disinformation and promoting socially beneficial uses of technology. And also companies also can bolster their reputation as ethical and responsible steward digital technologies and build the second pillars of trust. Okay, there are few, for example, ironing out complaints. all right, in a sensitive and timely manner. Very sensitive to the complaint. They have to reply, they have to answer of the customer and stakeholders complaint and also queries, okay, in a very short time, okay, so that they can protect the customer. Okay, so even though stopping misinformation in its tracks, if they have wrong information, okay, dispersed, all right, around the globe, okay, they have to think that to stop it in such a way, spoofing, deepfakes, plain old-fashioned rumors, yeah. Any organization can find itself caught in the midst of such malpractices. Okay, here again, technologies can be leveraged to stop misinformation in extract. Okay, some such digital solutions that one-to-one, as in the case of a communication provider that lets users forward, okay, suspicious messages for immediate verification. Okay, another way in this ethics and responsibility that we can practice in a digital platform by encouraging inclusions with tools that test fairness and detect biases. Okay, so here, for example, a city government developed an algorithm toolkit in collaboration with policy. Okay, with policy institutes that identifies ways to minimize unintended harm. Okay, to constituents by limiting bias in law enforcement, for example, higher education institutions, and the criminal justice system. Okay, so implementing safeguard to promote the stakeholders' welfare along with digital controls that prevent unethical or inappropriate use of technology also become one of the involvement in these pillars, okay, where it gaming, for example, gaming company that imposes time and spend limits on games that are habit forming, or a content aggregator that prompts users to be skeptical about the veracity of source, okay, for example, crowd source of information. It can also involve warning customers about behaviors that can negatively impact them. All right. So this is very, very important, okay, such as cloud computing providers, which automatically issue alerts when customers are about to go, for example, over budget on automobile makers using sensors to simply maybe detect the distracted driving and issuing alerts to prevent accidents. Okay, so here there are pillars number 4. Okay, pillars number 4 that I want to share with you is about security and reliability. Right. So while consumers, okay, appreciate the convenience, okay, pillar number 4, that digital technologies provide, okay, they also believe that businesses here, okay, should be held accountable for the security as well of online user and personal data. Okay, this study was performed by the Deloitte UK service that the data breaches continues actually to hit the headlines of consumer which taking notes. Okay, in a survey, half of the respondents said that they take a company's cybersecurity record into account before they agree to use its services. Okay, in other way means and organization reputations and hinges on the strength of its data security practices as well. This environment that organization can differentiate themselves by building the 4th pillar of digital trust as well to collaborate with security and reliability, and also by verify the identify and verifying the identify of people claiming to be customers, okay, or providers to reduce impersonalization and also fraud. All right, fraud making. Okay, that's 4 pillars, okay, that we've been looking. So here, in other way of building customers' trust, okay, of course, we have to, the business can have to communicate clearly here. To communicate clearly here, actually is a brand's online presence, okay, such as web, okay, mobile and social media channels says a lot about your values, about the business values. And if any misspelling words and poor grammar, broken links, confusing pricing information, for example, confused, okay, and hidden contact information can all deter the customers from your business actually. And good communication skill is very crucial to winning the trust of potential customers, as it removes the doubts, save times, shows that your brand is serious about customer trust and satisfaction. Okay, so protect customer data here. What to protect customer data and tell your customers about it. For example, they have been every brand about offer clear privacy policy and terms of service. Customers should know whether the data is being shared or not with third parties and should have the right to option out if desired, right? In addition, all information regarding sales, okay, such as deliveries, returns, exchanges, should be shared. Make this information very clear and accessible on the brand website to build customer trust. Okay, how to encourage them? How to encourage customers review here, in addition to sending post-contact surveys, invite customers to leave reviews, of course, on the digital channels that are visible to the public. Make it visible, make it transparent, that we can connect off the pillars number 1 just now. Okay, so ask customers to rate your brands, product, and service on a scale and leave comments. If negative comments are posted, do not remove. Okay, do not remove them, but address them publicly and continue the conversation on a private channel. It must be appropriate. Okay, this shows customer that you take all form of feedback and responsibility seriously, which we can also relate with ethic and responsibility there from the pillars number 3. Okay, so another way to announce customer being option out. Okay, what is that? So some customer may want, may like, may love to be notified when there's a sale event or discount available. However, everyone wants the choice to option out, and giving customers this option is very important to winning their trust. Okay, what example? For example, allows, make sure that brand emails have an unsubscribe feature. Okay, unsubscribe feature, or setting that allows customers to receive fewer emails, not very much emails, because it may disrupt the customer emotion, right? And always ask for permission to offer notification on mobile devices. All right. So another way to build a customer's trust also, if you look at number 5, offer timely service. Okay, offer timely, number 4, offer a secure purchasing experience. Okay, so here each purchase should be made with total confidence. Take every measure to secure the experience from start to finish. For example, outline the process in numbered steps, use trust form of payment, offer customer password for secure logins, and provide confirmation numbers with contact information should customer have questions immediately following purchase. Okay, offer timely service. Number 5, timeliness is essential to trust and has a major impact on sales. Okay, from I read from Stranger Loop Networks here. Okay, 57% of mobile customers will abandon a website if they have a wait 3 seconds. Okay, they have wait a 3 seconds for a page to load, then they leave that page. Okay, so we have to understand that the times, okay, of download should be shortened. Okay, should be lessened. Okay, so in addition, about when we look at the Amazon sites, okay, that every 100 millisecond increase in load time actually decreases sales by 1%. Okay, because of that time range of download, while communication should always be swift.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah, for time presentation, the 5 minutes again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to finish it. Okay, so keep content updated. another thing. Okay, so make sure that content updated frequently to reflect brand news. And also the website should share information regarding current sales event and discount. Okay, blog content should be refreshed frequently, and contact information should be up to date, and so on. Okay, next. Okay, so trends, of course, in digital marketing and maybe has been touched up by the first speaker there. Okay, like email marketing, digital campaign is usual, social media, mobile apps, and also content marketing. So we go to the other one that, okay, the last one I think that I'm sharing. I mean the last slide, next slide. Next. All right. Okay, this one, the last one that I have to maybe sharing with you. Okay, just a little bit of publication that I was published, a systematic review of disruptive technology within accounting and accounting sector, because my major my major field is accounting. Okay, but I explain maybe a little bit on the disruptive technology in accounting in 2-3 minutes here. Okay, I think on the numerous technology have replaced the traditional work that we have been working for, especially in also in accounting field. Okay, in within the accountant sector and within the accountant profession. Okay, so here transition of accounting technology is also to support like Industrial 4.0 and give an extra task to reshaping, okay, the governance and disruptive situation that demanding a flexible and multiple framework, and to build an agile governance. Okay, so here on the data cloud, artificial intelligence and also blockchain is very important, because through blockchain there has been access to the ledgers to keep accounting appropriate of transaction, and for cloud tools that also being supported by big data. So here the improvement of technology is greatly improving the visibility of financial and non-financial data that represented the accounting perspective. But we may have several consequences that have been highlighted in the implementation of blockchain technology within the accounting system and governance practices. Like once the transaction entered into the digital ledger, it cannot be changed anymore, as it represents transparency. So again, pillars of transparency, okay, to relate with the first pillars that is happen to all networks in accounting transaction, okay, to be recorded here. So also few previous scholars had criticized the blockchain application in accounting and question about inflexibility through decentralization of autonomy and its technological meticulousness. Okay, so I think for that, okay, I conclude the digital platform as a trust. Thank you.
Thank you so much for wonderful presentation with Dr. Suraiya. And then we will go to the last speaker. This is from Miss Mrs. Siswanto as a computer system department. Yeah, from Miss Siswanto, the time is yours. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Everybody?
sure.
Okay. Thank you. It's now my turn. Okay, let me share my... Okay, can you see my presentation?
Yes, sure.
Okay, thank you. This is my turn to present my presentation with the title, How to Build Trust on Digital Platforms. And those speakers are very great. And this is the last session. Actually, that my material is not different from those previous speakers, but I have more specific material. And as you see that idea future of trust framework that you can see there is 4 basic elements. Number 1 is race, security compliance, privacy, ethics, and social responsibility, and trust. And you know that the outcomes is trusted governance, trusted ecosystem, and trusted enabled e-commerce. I think that I'm going to explain much simpler in my presentation. I have 10 steps to build trust and what is it? The credibility online. It is still connected with how to build trust in digital platform. And those speakers explained very completely. I try to explain much more simply. You know that in 10 steps to build trust and credibility online, that's number 1, know your target audience, connect with them. And number 2, make sure your website is secure. SSL is a must. And I will explain after that. And number 3, be transparent about your business with brand storytelling. Number 4, build your website with a user-centric focus in mind. And number 5, create a sense of trustworthiness by profiling the team of people who work with you. Number 6, leverage your social media channels. It's like Ms. Suraiya Ibrahim talked about. And then number 7, create an online reputation management system. Number 8, build a community of advocates. Number 9, become an expert. And the last item, ask your customers for feedback and reviews about your brand. Well, that's the 10 steps to build trust and credibility online or in digital platform. And now I will explain one by one. And number 1 is like what I told you that step 1, know your target audience, connect with them. In this case, that build trust with your target audience, use your content strategy to identify their needs so you connect with them on an emotional level. For example, that I have an infographic. Actually, that when you have a business and you use a paid advertisement, you should have a specific target like gender, age, and interest. As we know that there are many social media advertisement like Facebook ads or FB ads and Instagram ads. You know that if you want to promote your product and you want to build trust or brand awareness, you have to have a knowledge about who is your target, and it can be classified by gender, age, and interest. Or else, if you have nothing or you have no knowledge about that, and what will you do will be in vain or useless. So that's why that you have like a list building about your target. It's like when I'm talking about that gender, age, and interest. Actually, that there are many items that you can be more specific, but commonly those they are the main factors that you can be more specific. And then number two, actually, that I'm focusing on talking about website, talking about digital platform. Actually, that there are many platforms like mobile platform, and I'm trying to talk about a website platform. And the number two, make sure your website is secure. SSL is a must. SSL is socket secure layer. I will give you illustration after this. Ensure your website has SSL or certified badges available to show browsers you take their privacy and your own web security seriously. Okay, you just take a look at my slide. Sometimes when you visit a website, you just be more concentrate. Actually, sometimes there is like lock icon in the address bar. If there is a lock icon like this, it means that the website is in encrypted connection or secure. So if you want to entry your credentials like username, password, or maybe the private data, I think that you don't have to worry to do that, because in this website it's secure and it has a specific sign. But if that website is insecure connection, I think that you should not go on visiting or browsing that website, because something bad will happen, I think. And then number two, be transparent with your business storytelling. The transparency is a key to establish trust with your customers. Try not to convey your perfect as no one it is. It's a better, more humanistic approach to tell a story about your faults or mistakes and what you did to resolve them. It is a type of transparency that has been proven to inspire trust and develop brand advocacy. Sometimes that people try to have a business branding or personal branding. I think that if you just tell about your goodness and you have no bad side, I think that is not good for your business storytelling. You just try to tell what it is, what the fact. That's transparency. Transparency is a key. For example, that and then build your website with user-centric focus in mind. The design of your website, it can very often drive trust with customers. Recent studies have shown that users will often leave a site if the design and the look of an e-commerce store are unintuitive and awkward to browse. So I think that if you have a website, that's a website for business, a e-commerce store, try to have the best design, the design at its best. Just try to make sure the visitors feel comfortable and the design is eye-catching and user-friendly. So with this in mind, it's wise to spend time investing in a professionally designed web store and get expect advice on what your brand is about so users can discover it. That's point number 4. And then take a look at this slide. You know that the benefit of user-centered design in a digital environment, it improves performance by reducing the number of users' error and make it easier to use and learn usability. I don't know that if you maybe have an experience of visiting an awkward website, that the navigation is not user-friendly and the content is strange and you feel not comfortable. I think it's not good. And then the benefit of user-centered design, it increases traffic and widens use by improving the numbers of returning customers, new users, and organic visits. You know that the traffic is like there are organic traffic and paid traffic. Organic traffic is more stable, much stabler. And also that it improves credibility by producing greater user satisfaction and confidence, and therefore positive reviews. And then it reduces development, maintenance, redesign, and support time and costs. And then it increases profits by boosting transaction and product sales. Those are the benefits of user-centered design in a digital environment. So if you want to have a digital business or online business and using website as a platform, so you must have a special consideration, a special concentration to build. If you have no capability to do that, you just hire a professional to develop and design at its best. Okay, and next. Number 5, create sense of trustworthiness with brand storytelling. Brand storytelling in terms of providing the team is ubiquitous. Sure to take the opportunity to personalize your business with highlighting your team through your About Us or the team pages. Leverage these pages on your e-commerce site to highlight how your brand developed and also the people behind it and how you all work together. You might ask employees to write a little about themselves. It is a great way to give them an opportunity to show the importance in what they do and the contribution they make to the company. So that if you have a brand storytelling, just try to have a sense of trustworthiness. Don't have like a bullshit storytelling. Just tell the truth. You know that step to write a brand story, it is still related with the previous slide. Number 1, step 1, detail your target audience. And number 2, or step 2, focus your story around your target audience. It's like what I talked about previously about age, about gender, about interest. And step 3, brainstorm using a storytelling framework. Step 4, review and refine. Step 5, test with the own audience and iterate. And step 6, share your story strategically. These steps are taken from Smartsheet. There are 6 steps that you can imitate or you can take to write a brand story. And then number 6, leverage your social media channels. Leveraging your social media to drive brand authenticity and awareness should be more than just marketing activity, but also built into your overall business strategy. It's like the infographic like this. You know that 9 reasons why business cannot ignore from social media. It's just like what you are looking at now. You're seeing that number 1, increase brand awareness. And social media is really important, absolutely important about increasing brand awareness. And then number 2, humanizes your brand. Number 3, helps to stay on top of mind. And number 4, increases website traffic. And number 5, it serves as a platform to partner with influencers. And number 6, build reputation and goodwill. Number 7, help to handle crisis. Number 8, offers more meaningful insight about your customers. And the last, number 9, helps to keep an eye on the competition. I think that I have not much time. Yeah? Okay, I think that I will go faster. And number 7, build a community of advocates. An online community is a place where like-minded people share thoughts and concerns, or even passions and interests. Communities are where people have a desire to connect, and is one of the internet's greatest attributes. Tapping into this and establishing a base for your own community can be a critical path in developing trust with your customers. It's like in the hierarchy of advocates' needs. The first is physical rewards, and then recognition, and then empowerment, and then VIP experience, and the last, influence. Those are the steps about the advocate needs. The physical rewards, you know, that basic need for new advocates, like a gift card, swag, and recognition. All advocates appreciate positive reinforcement, like thank you, happy birthday, or badges. I think that if you are a member of an online forum, and if you have a special level, that you will have a special pages like a newbie or a rookie or administrator or moderator. It's like a recognition. And then in empowerment, more seasoned advocate want to make an impact. It's like a feedback or opinions. And for VIP experience, it's like for high performance advocates, exclusive events, like a premium membership, and influence that a viewer advocate reach this level on the pyramid, cream of the crop, speaking opportunities and thought leadership. And then number 8, create an online reputation management system. Online reputation management, it is all about transparency also. It is risky, but not being transparent is even riskier, especially when customers are now more aware of the power in social media. You know that it's like the infographic and work processes. You know that website content analysis, negative reviews analysis, website on page, and social media profile creation, social media activities, link building, and monitoring. That's like a chain, and it cannot be separated. So it's important that you have an organization review management, online review management. And then number 9, become an expert. Talk about topic related to your brand. It's like what I'm doing right now, and the 2 speakers before, that you just talk about topic related to a brand, and we become an expert. Become an educator about your brand and how it can benefit your customers. Offer tips and advice on how to get the most from your brand and its features. This provides powerful content that will keep them engaged to stop your customers from turning to a competitor for an alternative solution. Create digital collateral like ebooks, build a library of YouTube content, host webinars, or publish blog content and podcasts. You know that that's like a pyramid from novice, advanced beginner, competent, proficient, and expert. Okay, and then the last point, number 10, is ask your customers for feedback and reviews about your brand. Never underestimate the value of user-generated content. Customer reviews are gold nugget material. A great way for customers to give feedback and highlight their experiences in using your brand. It's like maybe that if you have a online brand website that you have a badge like the Trustpilot. It's like this, feedback, survey, opinion, idea, advice, rating. You know, nowadays, if we want to know about a brand or product, this is good or not, we just can find out from the people, or we can say the netizen, about their comment, their opinion, their rating, maybe like in the Play Store, that we can decide, or we can know that this is good or not, this is trustable or not by this rating score. So it means that it is very important and to have a brand online by user-generated content. Okay, thank you. I think that's what I can present for this afternoon. And thank you, Ms. Novita.
Thank you so much for Mr. Siswanto. And then we will go to the next session, time for Q&A session. And for our audience, if you want to ask question, you can raise in your hand or you can write in room chat. Thank you. And first of all, I will read first question from audience from YouTube. This is for all speakers. This is for Mr. Han. From Mr. Han, sorry. I want to asking about digital marketing. For example, you have a restaurant business near a school. During the day, it's very crowded with visitors. So in a short time, within 100 meters, there is a restaurant that is the same standing selling the same product as you. It is very likely that many of your customer will try the flavor and try the price of the new style. And if it turns out that the price is cheaper and tastes better, naturally your business will be in danger of losing money. In this condition, what are you going to do? Does even happen a lot everywhere? What else do you enter into an AC business? You feel you fit our step on? Then use what is healthy and respectable way to deal with this problem. What digital marketing strategy is suitable for cases like this? Thank you. Maybe who will answering first? I'm also read in the room chat for question from audience in the YouTube. Thank you.
Okay, so I understand the question that is being asked here. Can I answer it first?
Yes, Miss.
Okay. So you have to understand one thing first. At the backing of any good brand, when we say brand, business, product, I'll be using the word brand here. At the backing of any good brand, there's always a good quality product. That is a baseline understanding. So that is something which nobody can compromise on. And no matter what field you get into, there will be competition. So you cannot get intimidated by the fact that, oh, there's somebody operating, and obviously the person operating earlier in a specific business will have economies of scale. They will have an edge on you, and they will also employ strategies to drive you out of the competition. So that is a competitive environment. You need to know your resources, your capabilities, the market gap, and you initially play on your strengths, the core strengths that you have. It takes time for a business to stabilize, to sustain a competitive environment. So that is a matter of the fact which cannot be denied. What a digital marketing can do for you, again, it can strengthen your brand equity because it leverages on brand association, brand imagery. For example, when Coke was a market leader, when Pepsi came in the 90s, Pepsi was heavily putting in money in marketing promotions. And I remember the 90s was a time when, because of their progressive and aggressive advertising promotions, the brand equity of Pepsi was raised, even though it was operating in a competitive environment where Coke was a leader. And you remember, Coke still, we can say it has maximum market share, but at that time Coke was the king, and I don't think any competitor would easily stand. But we've seen a successful example. So yes, there will always, especially in an industry of food, people love to eat, there is always going to be customer there, as long as you're providing good quality product and backing it up with a marketing strategy that adds value to your brand equity. So choose your brand associations. Your brand should be memorable. Marketing and branding can drive out a pre-existing competitive rival too. You just have to be strategic about it. You have to, maneuver your cost, and you have to give it that time and stability that a brand deserves to, stay in an environment to connect with the customer. Once you win your customer loyalty, your business will drive sales. So do not be intimidated by these. You will never get easy entry in any business. So you have to be ready for that. You enter into a business with a good strategic plan, and you enter with a frame of mind that, okay, things do not go my way. Can I sustain 1 year? Can I break even my cost for 2 years? Marketing does play a pivotal role, but marketing will not guarantee you success overnight. It is something that we build on over time. That is why it's called brand building and customer awareness building. There's a term used, brand equity, brand building, because it takes time. So yes, take your steps properly, follow the digital marketing rules. Like fellow speakers have also been talking about trust, and it will take time, but it will yield you impact. But at the end of the day, your product needs to be good quality, should be seen as valuable by the consumer, because digital marketing will only be a bonus on top of a good quality product. So the baseline is a good quality product, and yes, then digital marketing is a tactic, a tool to build on the available technological advances and to build on the available data analytics of consumer behavior.
Okay, can I add something to Dr. Aisha? Can I
Yes,
add
Miss.
something to that question? All right. So actually, when running your food business, right? That question. Okay. Beside academic, I'm also running a restaurant and also travel and tours, right? So firstly, you have to make your product very novelty. Okay. So I mean, especially in food. Okay, you have to create. Sometimes you have to create that that novelty in your taste, in your food taste. Okay, so because why? Okay, so customers. Okay, so you have to make your customers feel your food very tasteful. Then you doesn't you cannot. I mean, you cannot be the same with other competitors. So it's easy. Okay, it's easy for you to embark into a food business, but it's very difficult to think how to create the food that very tasteful, very good quality, and also the price. Okay, so I think that all from me about that to answer that question. I think you get that tips. Okay, so become very creative in food also, not in other in other sector. Okay, but in food also you have to be very creative to make it tasteful and produce a quality product to customer. Okay, so my just 2 cent opinion. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much for answering from Dr. Suraiya. I think it's a very clear answer. And then from Miss Siswanto, you will answer.
Actually, that I'm a man.
Oh,
Usually-
Mr. Yeah.
Okay, I think that the explanation of from Dr. Aisha and Dr. Suraiya Ibrahim, wonderful, very clear. But I would like to give a little more addition. To be number one is difficult. To be the best is much more difficult. So the best way is just to be different. If you know that about a value proposition, a competition nowadays are so hard, very tough. Try to be creative in thinking and innovative in action. What you should do, just try to be a little bit different with your competitor. If you are different, so you have a unique value, and it will people will have a different point of view about you and your product. That's from me, my explanation. Thank you.
Thank you so much for Mr. Siswanto. And then we will go to the next question. This is from Mr. Bambang. How to maintain customer loyalty so that they still like our product? Thank you.
Okay, so I'll be taking this question first because I've recently been working on this. Customer loyalty is not only when a customer is entering into a financial transaction with you, like we've talked about user generated content, and because with digital marketing expanding, a lot of people know about your product and brand. They may not be your target segment, they may not be your users, but they have the leverage of putting a word out for your brand to 100 other people, from whom maybe 10% could be your possible targeted segment. So how do you maintain customer loyalty in an environment where you do not know which customer is there to enter into a financial transaction with you? You focus on three things: share of wallet, which is evident. A person who is making a financial transaction, you will have that person's data, and it is very easy to keep in touch with that person through email marketing or so, through other digital touch points, because that person is already a user of your product and service. But what about other people who can still act as your loyal customers to spread a word of mouth and to get you to your right targeted audience? You have to create content which harnesses share of attention and share of love. I do not use a lot of products, brands, and services, but the marketing efforts of a lot of organizations have my eyes and my heart. I love the marketing campaigns of a lot of organizations and brands, a lot of telecommunication. For example, I'm a Samsung user, but I keep my eyes, probably I'm teaching, probably I'm in this field, but I'm exposed to a lot of other marketing promotions for competitive brands, and they have my share of attention. So if I'm sitting in a room and I'm talking about other competitive rival brands that I'm not using, I am still somewhat serving loyalty for them. So when you're approaching customer loyalty for your product, take into account share of wallet customers, share of love customers, and share of attention customers. So devise your content strategy catering to all these three people, and that will give you a more comprehensive customer loyalty program.
Thank you so much for Miss Aisha. And then for another speaker, okay, thank you.
I think I will add just a bit. Okay, I'm about to agree with Dr. Aisha there. Okay, so actually a lot of campaign, sometimes it can make a customer loyal to your product and to your business. Okay, especially your product. Okay, if your product is different enough and a lot of campaign that you have made to tap the customer heart, okay, it's okay, and it will build, okay, it will build the customer loyalty, in fact. Okay, so that's all.
Thank you so much for Dr. Suraiya for answering. And from Mr. Siswanto, you will put,
Okay.
okay, thank
Yes. That the explanation of Dr. Aisha is very great, and Dr. Suraiya is excellent. Actually, that it is how to build or how to maintain the loyal customers. It is not so easy because people have a different point of views, tastes. Actually, that if you focus on what your customers' uh, preferences, like pricing, like a taste, like the treatment. If you can maintain those factors, pricing, taste, quality, and the most important is you must be different. If you are different with others, so you have something special. And what your customers have been, what is it, having a special interest with your product, it just maintain it. I think that's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much for Mr. Siswanto. And then this is a question. This is for Miss Aisha Saqib. This is from Rai Agustinus. Which one is more effective between event marketing and influencer marketing? Do they have different goals for different types of company? Thank you.
Hello, Ray. So let me tell you, both are equally effective. It depends on your business objective at that moment in time. That is event marketing suiting your business objective, or is influencer marketing? My personal suggestion over the years over my own personal experience is that if you're having event marketing, because I come from the field of digital marketing, you can amplify its impact. Like I said, you can just from one event, you can take out a 30-day content calendar. If you incorporate influencer marketing, it will give it another boost. So maybe finances will go a little up, yes, but the integration of influencer marketing and event marketing and a digital marketing strategy, so that one event you can pave out over the next entire 1 month and gauge brand awareness and buzz around it. So today, with a multi-channel approach, like during my presentation, that was what I was trying to highlight. Go for a multi-channel approach. Do not restrict yourself to one forte of event marketing, or let's say BTL activities or ATL activities. You need to go for a multi-channel approach. Yes, there are different goals for different channels. Yes, there are different objectives. Again, it depends from situation to situation. But just to justify all of it, no matter what your business objective is, try to go for a multi-channel approach and try to integrate the effort to amplify a better impact out of your resources. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for Miss Aisha. And then this is a question from Ilham Nur for Dr. Suraiya. How to build a business that is healthy and easy to reach by all people? Thank you.
Easy to reach by all people.
Yes.
Okay, so first thing first, okay, you have to define the location that you want to open up your business. Okay, so geographical area must one of the most important thing. Okay, accessibility. Okay, if you want to open up a business in some rural areas, okay, please identify first how many populations, okay, population, geographical area. Beside that, resources, okay, resources that you can reach, suppliers. Okay, for example, if you want to open your restaurant, or you want to open your travel and tours, maybe for those interested in travel and tours, you have to make your geographical areas one of the benefit that you can sell. Okay, if you in services, okay, in for example, travel and tours there, okay. So you have to make homework, make a survey first, okay, in terms of population, in terms of interest of the local people at your area, okay. So if it cannot be as a digital, or maybe one of the thing that influencer, okay, become one of the most important thing for your business to make the customer or community known about your business. I think that's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much for explaining it. Explain. I think it's a very clean answer. And then this is the last question. This is for Mr. Siswanto. Sometimes there are online shops that commit fraud, such as on social media platform, and that has a negative impact on honey shops. Honey shops. Is there a way to deal with this? Thank you.
Sorry, pardon me. I cannot hear.
Sometimes there are sometimes there are online shops that commit fraud, such as on social media platform, and that has a negative impact on honey shop. Is there a way to deal with this?
No, that the connection is not stable.
Oh, I'm right in the room chat Zoom.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, thank you.
Online shop that commit fraud, such as social media platform, and that has negative impact on a shop. Is there a way to deal with this? I mean that a way for who? For the buyer or the seller?
I think for the buyer.
For the buyer.
Yes.
Well, actually, that is like what I explained before. There are some items that you can identify. That's the online shop is trusted or not. The first is people review. You know that when you visit or you have online shopping, like Tokopedia, Bukalapak, you know that there are 10 of thousands sellers there with the same products, maybe that with the same pricing. You know that this something easy that you can identify the seller or the seller is trusted or not. You can have what is it? See the rating, the level, and the reviews of buyer. If the positive feedback is more dominant than the negative feedback, or maybe that the rating is 100%, I think that there is no doubt if you just go on shopping. That's the easy way to deal with such, what is it, incident if you do not want to have a fraud transaction. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much for answering. Oh, and then we have the last question. This is from audience in the Zoom chat. I'm Nova from Padang. One of the speaker explained that we need to explain our weakness and our effort to repair it. How about the word mouth marketing by the other customer that influence the other? Thank you. This is for all speaker.
Can you repeat the question? Which you have in textbook, text chat?
Zoom chat, yes.
From Padang, Nova.
Yes.
Okay, maybe Dr. Aisha first or Dr. Suraiya. Lady first.
Explain that we is asking, I need to understand this question first, that somebody said he's saying that explain our weakness and our effort to repair it. How about the word of mouth marketing by other customer that influence the other? Yes. I'd like you to give the example of the brand Gillette here. Remember, Gillette's marketing was based on the idea of the best a man can get. And recently, they have changed their entire narrative. They have repaired it and they've put it forward to the world. The best a man can be, not a best the man can get. So, yes, we've seen it coming from a very successful brand. If you feel there is a weakness, you accept it, you build it into your brand story and your narrative, and you repair it. Like I told you, Gillette has recently done it. You can even Google it. They used to cash on the promotional concept of the best a man can get. And now they're saying the best a man can be. It's an entirely different brand narrative and brand storytelling, and their entire promotional strategy has changed around this one singular tagline change. So yes, if you feel there is something insufficient, because I said you have, in the end of the day, what your customer needs to value what is being put out there. If your customer is not seeing any value in it, there's some issue in it, yes, you repair it, you work on it. So that is one part of your question. Second, so yes, I will agree and I will say it is okay to accept your weakness, correct and repair it, and even communicate about it digitally on your online platforms. You do not have to be afraid of, going out and reaching out to your customer. It will only further strengthen the bond of trust between your customer and the brand, because that customer will understand that we understand their needs and we understand them as people, and like their pain points and their hopes and fears. The second part is, how about the word of mouth marketing with the other customer? Yes. Like I said, we're living in a world of consumer generated marketing. This is one aspect we have to work towards. If there will be good word of mouth marketing, there will also be bad word of mouth marketing prevalent. And like in the beginning of my lecture, I said there will be a lot of misinformation. So how you can overcome that? Utilize your own channels, forget about the paid marketing. Organically, what you're working towards, you provide a stream of credible and authentic information. Like Mr. Siswanto talked about, you provide users to come forward and empower them to put honest feedback and honest rating system. So it is in your hand. Yes, there will always be counteracts. There will always be a word of mouth. There will always be a marketing propaganda. But what is in your control as a proactive marketer? What is in your control? You take leverage on that, and you strengthen your support system around what is within your resources and your capabilities and in your control. So I've answered this question in two different parts, because together it does not make much sense. So it's part A and part B, and I hope that it helps.
Thank you so much for answering for Miss Aisha. And the next speaker from Dr. Suraiya or Siswanto.
Okay. I think yes, we have to accept our weakness. Okay, we are not into 100% perfect. Okay, but how to recover it? You have to find a solution. For example, if the review, okay, from last month is bad, so how you can improve what the weakness that happened in your business. Okay, so you get new review, okay, good review, and improve. First, improve what the weaknesses that has been encountered in your business. Then you get another review, maybe with a campaign first, okay, do an social media campaign, and let's a new customer try it and make a good review. So maybe it can recover part of it. Okay, so thank you.
Thank you so much for Dr. Suraiya. And from Mr. Siswanto.
Okay, thank you. That the answer from Dr. Aisha is very great. And also Dr. Suraiya is very excellent. I do appreciate it. Actually, that the one thing you have to remember, time heals everything. If you have a problem about your brand in online, don't stuck with it. Just keep going, keep doing something good. You know that, for example, I have a real experience that I have traded in online food. In one day that one of my customers gave me like stars, not 5 stars, not 4 stars, but 2 stars. You're not within 3 days that I did not have any order at all. And I just try to realize that it is a mistake. And sometimes that the time runs, the problem is gone. So don't worry so much about what marketing other customers. Never mind. Just focus what you can do. Focus. Just forget about the weakness. If you focus on your weakness, and you will never know about your strength to move forward. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much for Miss Siswanto. And then I guess no one else asking again. I will go to the next session. This is time for take a picture for documentation. Yeah, so for Miss Febri, you can handle it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Novita. For those who haven't activated the camera, you can activate the camera first so we can take photos together. Okay, let me count from 1, 2, 3. Once again, 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you. I will return the event to Miss Novita.
Thank you so much for Miss Febri. And then I see we have one more audience in the raise hand for a question. Is it okay, Miss and Mr.? Miss Niswatin? Okay, I think no. Yeah, before I close this event for all the speaker, will say something before or no before I close this event? Okay. Finally, we come to the end of the webinar today. We would like to thanks again for all the speaker, for Miss Aisha Saqib, Dr. Suraiya Ibrahim, and Mr. Siswanto, for their wonderful information. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. We hope this information will be beneficial for our audience, and I hope we can meet again in another event in the future. Also, I would like to thanks for all participants for attending this webinar and making this event more interesting. At last, we hope to have more collaboration in the future with the Karachi Institute of Economy and Technology from Pakistan and also Universiti Malaysia Perlis from Malaysia. And the webinar for today and here. We hope to see you soon. Thank you and see you and goodbye. Have a nice day. Yeah, thank you so much for everyone. Thank you so much.
Okay, my
Goodbye.
pleasure. Thank you.
Mm,
Thank you, Dr. Suraiya, Dr. Aisha.
Goodbye.
Thank you to all, Siswanto and also Dr. Aisha.
Thank you, Dr. Suraiya. Thank you, Dr. Aisha.
Thank you, Professor Bambang.
Thank you, my friend, Mr. Siswanto. You good presentation.
I did not recognize that you
Thank you.
you're like from the Middle East associate professor, right?
Mhm.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
For all, thank you for all, Novita, Pak
Thank
Solika,
you.
and Mbak Febri. Sukses for all.
STEKOM.
Okay, I think that's enough for today's event. Thank you. Good afternoon. Have a good rest. Bye-bye.